Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another denim DIY video. Today, instead of making pants, we're going to be making some denim shorts. Now the pants that we're going to try to recreate, I'll put them on screen right now. Now when I first saw these, honestly, I was kind of mind blown because for some reason, I never thought of putting a flare panel to denim shorts. And for the longest time, I've been eyeing denim shorts. I've been wanting to incorporate them into my style. And I'm not talking about those really skinny fitted shorts, denim shorts that you would get at H&M. No, that was my style back in 2016 or something. I'm talking about the more baggy, where it kind of maybe hits the knee or even goes a little bit below the knee. So when I saw the pants, instantly I was like, I gotta make these. Tapestry DIY, out the window. But these shorts were from the brand Ends Repair, so shout out to them. There's also another pair of pants that they made that I want to recreate as well. So the pants that we'll be transforming into shorts are these Levi's 514s. Now the fit of these, the main thing is that they're not super skinny. I will be adding a flare panel, so I will be widening it. Then along with it, I'm going to be using these jeans, and these will be for the flare panel. As you can see, I already used it for a past DIY project. I chose this one because they have this aged, used, faded look, but this one for the flare panel, I wanted it to be lighter than the actual shorts. So I think they complement each other pretty well. So it should be fun. Honestly, I think the hardest part for me is getting the length right and how big I want the opening to be. Because I usually work with pants, right, with flares, and I know my max is 10 inches, but for pants, for shorts, is it gonna be 10 inches? No, that's way too small, right? They gotta be a little bit bigger. And I do want them to be bigger. I don't want them to be super skinny. I want them to be kind of baggy, right? So it's what's the measurement? Also, what's that fuzzy thing on the bottom? I might just use a tapestry or something for that part. I don't really know. But yeah, let's get into it. So again, I'm using a pair of Levi's 514s that I thrifted, and they were a size 34, 33. Now obviously the length doesn't really matter since we're going to be chopping up these into shorts. Also, they have holes on the back, so they were perfect to use. The first step was trying to figure out how long I wanted the shorts to be. I know I wanted them to be below the knee, but I didn't want them to end up looking like capris. To get a general idea of the new length without cutting anything, I rolled up the pants to the marking I made and then made any adjustments from there. When I made the markings, I made sure to add on about an inch to the length to be used for the hem later on. Once I was happy with the length and the markings were even, I cut off the excess fabric. If you're still unsure at this part, it's always better to cut a longer length because if you're not satisfied with it, you can always cut more. But if you cut it too short, you can't Control Z it and add on more fabric. You can, but that's just an extra step. I then started prepping the pants to be distressed by drawing in where I wanted the holes to be with a white chalk pencil. When everything was in place, I got my rotary tool and started distressing away. For the most part, I wasn't really trying to keep all the horizontal threads intact, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to make just a straight up hole. Since there's gonna be a lot of sewing in this DIY, to make my life easier, I opened up the outseam of the pant legs all the way up to where the hand pockets were sewed down. Now we can add in the patch repairs. I used the leftovers of a white shirt I cut up to be used for this. For each distressed area, I cut out a part of the fabric at a size that was bigger than the hole and then pinned it down, readying it to be sewn in. Once the preparations were done and pinned, I brought out my sewing machine and started machine darning the distressings to secure the repairs. For this part, I used white thread so that would be visible on the dark denim. I measured rough estimates of how long and wide I wanted the flare panel to be and decided to try 5 by 18 inches. Because I wasn't sure yet of what size I wanted, to test things out, I measured and marked the flare panel on extra fabric before cutting up the real thing. When I pinned it to the shorts and tried it on, it didn't look wide enough, so I made the necessary adjustments and cut it out on the fabric I was going to use. I pinned the flare panel on the seam that's on the front of the denim shorts and sewed it in. I didn't sew in the side that will be attached to the back yet because we're gonna add in more darning onto the seam of the sewn on flare panel side of the shorts. At first, I used white thread for the stitchings and then added more but used black thread instead. I did this from the top of the flare to the end and then finished by sewing in the other side of the flare panel to finalize it. On the back, I removed the left back pocket so I can sew on some designs onto it. I messed up on this part though and I didn't realize it until I finished, but I was supposed to use white thread, but I ended up using black. I didn't want to remove the thread though because it'd just be a waste, so I just kept it as it was. Afterwards, I sewed the back pocket back on and added in some other stitches. To make the new hem, I folded the bottom twice at 1/2 inch per fold, using an iron to help make the hem crease, and then sewed it down. I don't know how or what the makers used to make the hems how they were, but I do have some guesses. Initially, I was gonna cut up this tapestry and attach it to make as the hem, but I just didn't like how it would make the shorts have a green hem, so I just scrapped that idea. I ended up using my rotary tool to distress the entire first layer of the hem, and I think it turned out pretty close to how it was in the picture. To finish it off, I added in more darning around the entire hem. Final thoughts. I haven't done one of these in a minute, but the pants itself, they're not perfect. I would probably rate them like an 8.5, maybe even a 9. Yeah, probably a 9. I still like the overall look of them, but there are a couple of things that I wish were different. So this is actually a mistake on my part, but the rip on the back side, the word rip, it's supposed to be white. It's not supposed to be black, and it doesn't help my case that I sewed it in onto dark denim, so instead of seeing rip, you can really just see the outline of the pocket of how he sewed it in, and like these scratches right there, and not the word, which kind of defeats the purpose. And then I don't know if you noticed it when I showed you how it looked like when I tried them on, but on the inseam of the pant legs, they kind of like ramp outwards, they kind of curve out, and I was really thinking of different ways to fix that. And the only way I can really think of is to like sew it down this way, like just straight down like that. So basically chop this corner off and then maybe it'll be straight. I don't know, that's like the only like solution I can come up with, but I didn't really want to do that mainly because I already fixed the hem. But in the end, it's not really a big deal. Now the thing is about these pants, as much as I like them, or shorts, whatever, I don't really know how to style them. I mean, obviously I could wear them with like a black or white wife beater, right? But then I tried wearing a couple of shirts. I tried wearing, you know, regular tank tops with these, and I look like my uncle from the Philippines, you know what I mean? But I did try matching these with the Boro kimono I made, and I think they look pretty good. I'll be back. Let me put that on real quick. Ooh, I ripped something. It's not that bad. It kind of flows well. All these stitchings here kind of matches with the Boro. It all just looks like everything was repaired and DIY'd, which I really like. But if you guys have any ideas of how you guys would style these shorts, let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to see how you guys would style them. If you guys like how they turned out, make sure to drop a like. Hit that sub button too. I'd really appreciate it so much. Follow me on Instagram as well at Julius Nathan if you guys want to keep up to date with like the stuff I'm working on. I usually post it on my story. Or if you have any DIY requests, send me a message and I'll get back to you. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.